You do know Aaron Brockovich, right? And then related attorneys that work on contingency. You know, they have all the money in the world to just fuck these people around here that think they're big with their shitty shit. Thank you, person who was talking about my Cash App address and the way that I should really start putting it out there. The thing I'm having a trouble with is that it's looking like that my for some reason my PayPal account is a different address. Now I need to look at it. It has an A circle before it goes AEIOUYOUTOO. It has an A circle before that. But my Cash App, it actually has a dollar sign. That's the address to my Cash App. It has a dollar sign and then AEIOUYOUTOO. And I'm sorry if that seems confusing. It confuses me too, but hey, maybe we can do a puzzle and stay in cahoots as just intelligence, you know what I mean? Doing a little puzzle. Anyway, okay, so then my Venmo is the same as it has a dollar sign and then AEIOUYOUTOO. So I appreciate it. I just changed it on this one here. Whoops, it says PUBlIC. I need to keep this going here. I have so many letters missing on my typewriter. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, thank you so much again for responding. You don't. This is a video saying you don't have to send the money. I've managed to get the dirty crap right. Well, it's to take care of me. Nobody wants to do this kind of thing, but if they have really fucked your life up, you know, you need to do everything you can to. My grandmother calls it rattle their cage. Actually, it's not my grandmother. See, she had a really good cousin too. That they don't do court cases, but when they do, they don't lose. And see, I'm a warrior. It's different than a soldier. A warrior just kind of holds ground in the center of a majestic field called the truth. It could be anything, but there's the well-known the gardens of his majestic will, which is very much like, well, you can be in a garden where animals are flourishing and everything is moving in harmony. There's life there. Food is growing and it's mulching down and it's just doing the heavenly, you know, Bible, which means just this oscillator that kind of goes as above, so below, birth and deathing. And so a lot of people don't really understand who I am and stuff, and they must be shaking in their boots right now because they keep trying to fuck with me, and it's like, oh, thanks a lot, you know. It must suck to be stupid and paranoid as hell. Whew. Got to get those cameras pointing down a little bit more. You know, you can't shine cameras in people's yard. I don't think so. So we're going to find all this stuff out. You know, we should be camping out onto the courthouses because, well, since the days of Christ, they're empty. But see, you don't have to. But see, you can go online here. I'm saying that even online, your social media, it's not activated either. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about our language. See if you can do the puzzle just through instructions of knowing. See what I was downloaded from benevolent beings who live in outer space, the interfacing system called the English alphabet. Globally, there's a reason why that they all had to learn that language. It's because the basics that is derived in there, see, RIA, RIA, and also just IA. You'll see it a lot. But no, the RIA, the R, is a very special symbol that you should know when it's there, that you now have to reverse, find out what's really there. Put it through the computer and find out how many words you can get out of whatever that R word is. Like the word heart. Well, in there is the word earth. Right? Why? Why do you think? Well, because it's totally connected now. See, the real word in ear is, well, there's the word here, right? But put the T down. Put the cross down, will you please? Stop sticking people with that. You have the word here. Well, there's something called communion also, and that's in the word communications. I already kind of put this up, but I tried to do it during the Mars transit in Cancer, and it was just excruciating. That was the most excruciating thing I've ever been through, but I guess we had to go through it. I mean, who the hell wants Mars in Cancer for 6 months? Everybody's talking about it too. Who's everybody, Shauna? Oh, this right here, YouTube, you have channels. And channel isn't what you think it is. Channel is coming from way back where people have become, okay, like Tesla, and I've already talked about this, but it's good to just repeat it for these fucking idiots, right? That your brain is just a receiver, but he didn't go as far as talking about, well, how are you getting it? Well, it's because you have a beating heart, it's electrical, and it's interacting with reality. What's reality, Shauna? Well, that thing just beyond the nose here. Outer space, the final frontier. Move the hand out of the way. Watch out for the coffee table there, narcissist. Whew, these people are not reality-oriented. They don't like reality. And anyway, so to just prove a point, I think that, yeah, anyway, don't worry, we'll get this all straightened out and everything will be ours again. Ba. Look, Pussy Willow. Pussy Willow. Have you ever seen that movie where the woman's like, Pussy Willow, Pussy Willow, Pussy Willow? Like, well, there's that woman over there, but let's go to dinner. My neighbor's a little bit crazy. She keeps saying, Pussy Willow. I don't like the word pussy. Do you? No, because it's pussy. You know, I like the word. What would she call it? Fuzzy. Sorry. Boy, we went here just right away. Hardly how many minutes? This should get like 600,825 likes, especially if I just type, what is Pussy Willow? Boy, that word willow is like troubling. You know, look at it. It has the word ill and then ow in it. Thank God that you can't really run those two together. You would have to just say, well, I-O. That's the proper way that you do it. See, that's just a name, a willow. So then at the very most, you keep the I capitalized, you keep the vowels capitalized. See, the I-O, now, you don't know. See, the I and the O, that line and then a circle, that means on, off. And that's pretty much how vibrational frequency is. It's just on, off, on, off, on, off. And it's all it's saying is just vibrational frequency. It's just kind of funny that way. Thanks for listening. I'm having some cheese and little food here. But I talk about the channel and getting messages and stuff. It's kind of dangerous for the idiot out there that operates on paranoia. It's like, wow, you could have been a good friend, but you're just not. And I bet you anything there's a history behind these people, right? Just pull it up and say, now how many people, how many cases do they open out on people and just fucking beat them up? Because you don't know how, you're just fucking cool, huh? Just paranoid as fuck, and he needs a suitcase and a necktie to really get this done. Good luck with that, babe, man. You need to be fucking saved. Go to Christ. Come to Christ. Look, I have my little baby. Ashingrai Dulan Balo. Tuti. She's a Gemini, so with a Gemini Jupiter. See, she's dwarfed. I noticed that this cat right here, she's dwarfed. She's handicapped. She does not jump. She does not know how to jump, and she seems to, well, she knows how handicapped she is because that's, now, she's very paranoid because of that. Here, let's get the camera on it. She's naturally protecting herself. She does caves better. She runs under things, and she just loves that. She's not really a cat, babe. She's my mother. I didn't tell you that story, but hey, now that you're listening, let's get into Shauna's sci-fi, and let's blow the neighbors' minds out. You know, it's like, but see, the thing is I think that the woman is like, yeah, there is reincarnation. And do you think that they store human souls inside of cats in particular? Yes, you can. Well, see, the story with my mom here, she had to wait 15 years. She said she was a dog first. This is the message I got. She says, you know, I had to be a dog first. This is where this cat comes with fetching. She wanted to play fetch with me in my last video, and I kind of got frustrated and throw it over there and come back. And she really bugs me about, come on, let's play fetch, man. And that's because my mom was a dog in her last life. My mother, let's talk about this. So just to bug sociopaths and narcissists who are actually stalking my page, because you want to get what? We have Privacy Act going for us, similar to just your own house, is you don't just go in and look and say, oh, that, yeah, you can't do, and fuck you, get out of here. I wasn't even showing that to you. So anyway, look, my this cat that is my mother, I knew it. I looked at it, what? She's got some issues, she does, but she just wanted to be here with me. She couldn't be here with me. She was bedridden for 19 years. And I think 8 years towards the end of her process there, oh, she's just a marathon runner. She has Mars conjunct Saturn. It's like, okay, that's what happens when a marathon kind of stout warrior has a disease. Is they don't take it 9 years in bedridden. They take it to 19 years and put the feeding tube in for another 8 years. The poor thing. Oh my God. So she comes back as this foodie and a half. I mean, I let her. I'm like, okay, I'll give her. Will she eat a kiwi fruit? Or will she eat a darn avocado? And she tastes it. She loves it. She's like, yeah, and she's just eating every little thing. And I do not feed them any. This isn't some advice I'm giving the spies over there. If you're feeding your dogs anything from the Stater brothers, especially what the vet wants them to eat, they're going to create their illnesses for you, and it's supposed to be normal. And then you take it back, and oh, watch your dog get worse and worse and worse. See, my dog that I had, she died of natural death, basically. She was 22 years old. I estimated around at least 20 to 22. Dogs don't make it that long anymore. See, that's an end of an era. And it was hard, you can tell that something was getting to her, right, the food. But I remember I switched over to giving her chicken and rice and stuff. So that's what I'm doing with my cat here. She has broccoli and corn and chicken, and I put potato in it. And I don't eat chicken. I mean, she eats better than I do, right? I did eat some chicken, and it was weird, the bones and everything. Anyway, I don't know. So thank you, yes, for the people that are on my side, which is the righteous ones, the people that aren't really that paranoid. They know how to be a friend to people. They wave to anybody. They can be present without prejudice. We're just like feeling each other out with our eye. Boy, I hit my head today in my chicken coop because I had my beanie on, and it's just kind of low, and then there's a pole that's low, and it's weird, because I had this illness, virus, and kind of messing with a lot of my head, right? And so when I hit my head really hard, something said, no, this is what you need. Bam! And I was like, well, it doesn't feel that bad. It's a little bit bad, though. But no, it's kind of like a bee sting. Like you get a bee sting, and then that's different. But see, there is a factor about that. Like if you have a lot of pain from something, try to get a hammer. Like if it's right here, if the pain's right here, get a hammer and hit your toe really hard. Then you won't have that pain anymore. You'll have the pain there. So that's the way you kind of transfer it. It's fine. But no, anyway, hi, how are you? Do you guys have a sense of humor? See, the antisocial, sociopath, narcissist, they don't have a sense of humor at all. They're kind of just like, that one guy, Richard Grannon, explained it really well, and I'll try to call that video up. They kind of just like, they're like this all the time. And then, to add more, like, scary fakeness, they're going to try to be real with you, put a smile in there. That's what they look like. You know how animated I am, and how I'm a live performing artist, and I don't know, just controversial, I guess. God, this asphalt scene over here needs to go away. They need to get their cage rattled. See, my auntie, this is another piece of information that the narcissists don't know that are spying on me right now, and that if you try to do anything to me, I can fucking get you bad. It's just like, why aren't you getting off my page? And why are you stalking me? And why are you harassing me? And why have you trying to ruin my life over it? No, that was wrong. That was a terrorism hit. It was just flashing before your eyes, and it takes like maybe hindsight to look at it and say, whoa, that was so weird. And these people that like glommed onto it and created a business out of it. See, I was going to do some shopping and get my water and stuff, and on Tollgate there's one of them there, and they just taunted me. Like, they stopped taunting me after a while, but awesome! You could tell that they're so fucked up in the head with it all. They're like, yeah, and so they have this bullying propensity, and I even kind of see, they try to make you look like that you're that. They'll try to turn it all around on you, and whatever. There's enough of a case against them about that, especially the one right next door here who managed to call the sheriff, and they're just opening a case on themselves and say, let's pull it up. You know, it's proof right there. And then if they're doing things right, they recorded my attempts to get the code enforcement agency out. At which point they're just like, oh, you Jim, hi. You know, there's clinking coffee cups. Bye. Same thing with the sheriff. It's like, I think this got to go to a bigger, higher court of law where these people don't do that. They can't do it because there's too much money behind the law firm there, Aaron Brockovich and the Sierra Club, and White Luxenvert. Whites and Luxenvert is another name that this woman that was very sincere, she says, oh God, if that happened to me here in Oregon, I would die. And she says, no, that's environmental terrorism. And see, I'm so sick and distraught. These people, whew. Yeah, no, you know, we give them plenty of chance. It's called reality. Reality gives you a chance. It's the third party witness. It's kind of like when you put a camera up and you have a recording of it. There. What are you going to do now? Right? They try to provoke you into something. I noticed that other guy, really creepy. He was testing my emotional waters and wants me to like flail around with their ability to try to get a rise. And it's like, no, that's obvious. I'm not really like that. The reality shows is that I'm a very peaceful person. I think they were here by the time my dog was going through its end of life process. And guess what happened? Somebody, I don't know who it was, and they wouldn't tell me. Somebody called animal control on me because my dog was old and dying. And they were getting ready, that animal control truck, they were getting ready to put my old, decrepit dog that was just about to die in the back of this cold box in the animal control. Oh my God, just thinking about it makes me want to cry. I didn't let that happen. No way. Oh, but they fined me because what? I don't have a chip and shit like that. And it's like, God, get out of here. See, I can have all that expunged too. Um, just because I'm going to be closing up a case that's worth, I'll be worth like tens of millions of dollars. And my new job is just to make sure that this fucking shit doesn't go on west of the Mississippi. People should not be allowed to live in the mountains unless they live in intention. I don't really know what the fuck happened around here in Idlewild. I was going to try and let you know. My auntie, Christy, in the 60s, she stopped, and in the 70s for sure, yes, and it was in the 70s, they were threatening to spray the forest with DDT. And she didn't allow it. She was doing heavy duty activism for the environment back then. She's still that way now. And she actually stopped it. Her activities and her ability to pull strings and just communicate stopped it. And you can always there's always somebody that says, well, yeah, well, so no wonder all the bark beetle is here now. It's like, no, there's an end of life process, and there's a process happening called life and death here, and there's also a reason why that a forest would suddenly start succumbing to all of these parasites. It's because your water is being poisoned. up there, there's a sky, and when you look up, sometimes it's full of chemtrails. There's something called chemtrails. I love to talk about this in front of these fucking people who are so clueless. Can you believe that there's people that just don't know it? What I mean is, can you believe that there's people that don't use this thing properly? See, there's something called free information. What's in, these are two words, by the way, split them apart. Information is what's here now. Like this thing here, let me put it on here, I'll tell you. Yeah, information is this weirdo that puts this thing on her head. And ow, I still have a lump from that fucking thing. I'm still really actually getting better the more I am listening to my body, feeding it, and I'm listening to something else and it's saying, no, you're spot on, right on, do it. You just have to force yourself into, it's kind of like anything else. Like first you don't think you want to do it, like you didn't never wanted to go to school. Right, you don't go to school. Kids, get away from there. But what I mean is like anything that you have to learn, it's difficult at first, right? You don't even know if you're supposed to be doing it, but anyway, eventually, see, it's very different right now for a lot of people. We're not going to be doing the same government program, like say ripping people off for just car mechanic. That like, I could change my fan belt and I can change my little spark plug thingies, what do they call them? Instead of them charging me $300, I just go pay $60 and do it myself. See, it's not impressive right now to run the programming, especially the indebted monetary system of the United States. Why is it like that? Well, who cares, kids? I'm talking kind of delirious. I need to rest. And so pray for me that I'm able to get some good rest and just send her up. These people, they're all about taking your life away, taking your easy peasy, especially mine here. I think that, see, the guy next door here, we've always kind of seen each other for like the last 25 years, especially, well, I knew him before. See, I used to live here before, like 30 years ago when he first moved in, and he used to have a dog and he used to abuse it in the back. And there's also an electric fence around the property, and it used to shock squirrels and the dogs and even my chickens. One time he could turn it on any time. One time it was continually shocking my chicken, and he was up there laughing. That's a psychopath, babes. And these people up here, God, are we going to be able to fucking restore the planet at all? The answer is yes. The June bugs that are missing up here, there used to be so many June bugs up here. And I love to see them. They're different than the emerald June bugs. They're very bitchin'. They used to be just plenty up here, big and small. Well, people using pesticides, and also, how about this? Those lights that fry up insects. Well, the guy next door had one over here. It was ridiculous because it's like the only light in the whole meadow that attracts every big giant moth and June bug and bigger bug. And you could tell a June bug would get stuck in there because it was like, it would just be forever fucking. Not just a mosquito, babe. He's trying to get rid of, sorry, trying to get rid of mosquitoes. It's like, but you're getting rid of, and so needless to say, we don't really see those June bugs anymore. Rarely, if I see one, I'm like, oh, hello, God. They have these bitchin' little, kind of like fern-like antennas, and they have stripes in the back. So you narcissists, when you see them out there, that's what that is. There's what? This is the wilderness up here. And people that move here and say, no, this is not the wilderness, they need to get the fuck out of here. They're dangerous. There's so many other places that live in intention. They go like this, and they say, no, we love to turn the lights off because we see the stars. I know I keep repeating myself, but why not? Channel 4 News it. Keep doing it. Like John Lennon said, I'm going to advertise peace. I will make a billboard. I think that we have to talk about it all the time. Bob Marley, he would say, hey, they get up. Evil gets up early in the morning. You should too. Why do we have to do this? Can't we just fucking enjoy ourselves here? No, apparently not. Money isn't going to let you. Money has so many better ideas, doesn't it? Oh. Ashikuraida. Ba. Nidadu. Manidada. My little dwarfed baby. She might not live that long because of whatever it is that she has that It's so strange. I love her. She wants to hunt, but she does not jump. She just kind of crawls up the bed. I notice it, and like one time she got out and I was really calling her, and she made it up the driveway. See, she's my mother, and she walked the property line. She's like, oh, yeah, cool. She just wanted to be here with me in the cabin. She was not ever able to be with me, especially when I moved up here when I was 16. I got my job. My first job was at the school over there. It was called ISnt, and I talked about that. But everywhere I go, I do well, and especially here. Anyway, you got to do what you got to do. Like my grandma said, and with her cousin who helped her win a $600,000 case against the school because they did well, at the time it was age discrimination, but did you know that they kind of changed it now that you can't do that? And it's like, well, why? Well, I see why. It's because people will just all of a sudden, when they're going to hang in there till they're decrepit, and then when somebody says you can't work anymore because you're old, they say, oh yeah, and then they take them to court and sue them for millions of dollars. That can't happen. But my grandma did it. But I think that there was more discrepancy stuff that they were just guilty over, and really she opened up what is called the academy support. There was just housekeeping that did everything because it's kind of a resort place too. And well, the reason why that school is built up the way it is now is because my crew, her crew, really, I was on this housekeeping crew. She helped me get that job, and we hauled fucking ass. It's called there are big giant resort kind of buildings, and I think they built more, and they did everything they wanted to do. They kept putting signs up saying, we're going to build a library here, we're going to build a new mess hall here, this is the future for us. And the summer programs, which involves the elder hostel retreats, where each elder hostel is paying like $18,000 to be able to go there or something. I mean, it's a lot of money, in other words. And see, we turned over buildings. I mean, oh, whew, like nothing though. See, I worked really well. I work well anyway as a meditator. It's like 6 people. If you're a meditator, you're working to the equivalent of 6 people. A meditator doesn't need any advice. They just need to be in the environment of meditating and amongst other meditators. Many different levels to meditating. I'm at a level now that I come to you. There is no reason to end it, but you can be in a shallow state of meditation, and now you're talking like this. It's actually a form of sleep. But anyway, thanks for listening to this. Yeah, I will put my, if you want to just send money to me, I would love that because I need to get chicken food. I'm kind of in between right now, right? We all are kind of. And congratulations if you are working the black hole system where everything is coming out of national debt. But why is that? Well, I say it's because that it's not socialized. The economics forum is not socialized to the human being yet. I say yet because, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what I'm seeing. It's like, okay, so Shauna, how are you going to do this? Well, you just have to know that there's divine timing and you can do it. You will. You will. Just calm down. Shit's happening. Get some shit done. Well, there's real life hate out there. I notice that some people are in denial about hate. But no, there are haters that it has nothing to do with the poor riffraff going and smoking dope over there in where they always did. Always. This place has gotten so fucking weird. But I think that it could change, especially because of this. See, it's just almost like that this entity that has the ability to X things out with the asphalt is just testing us, kind of like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying, you better go clear the forests out. You better be present with it. If you're not present with it, they're going to burn extra hotter. They're going to be overgrown. See, Indians, people present with the forest, you don't get trees growing really close together. See, pine trees especially, they require a 60-foot circumference around them because eventually that's what they need to get really big. See, but there's some places up here you can see where the trees are growing too close together. And what happens is they do grow up really high. They kind of compete for the light, and then they're very spindly. Then, see, I admit I have some of that going on in my yard, and so there's some of them that are kind of like toothpicks and leaning, and it's like, okay, all right, but see, yeah, no, it doesn't start with me, babes. You don't blame it on me because people don't go out in the forest. Although I'm out there now trying to clear that shit out. Not really. I should. Everybody should get in on the free wood that's out there. Yeah, and just be wise enough. See, they've made everybody very sick, not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. People are fighting off, like kind of like what I had to go through here, where it's like, oh yeah, that was designed to kill me. That's why I'm getting a restraining order because it's like, ooh, uh, I think that they're wrong in a lot of things now. There's records against them now. That's the sad thing about these incredibly stupid people is that they're only opening up cases against themselves. Just give it some time. You get the reactive abuse, and they try to shut you up by calling the sheriff saying that I was disturbing the peace. And it's like, yeah, but if you guys were reality oriented, you don't even notice I'm here. I mean, it's just pure peace. Reality is peace. See, that's one thing that John Lennon didn't get really hip about. And I'm kind of like a John Lennon. I have 5 planets in Libra, and he used to say, well, I'm going to advertise peace. I think it's a good movement. I'll put it on the billboards and say, just give peace a chance. Well, I'm saying, will you give reality a chance? Because reality is peace. Breathe, deep divers, if you can. Fuck, if you can. I have not been able to take a breath of fresh air ever since that fucking load of asphalt. And these people don't even care. Well, we're going to rattle their cage about it. I am trying to put my weight on, put more body weight on. They starved me in there. They wouldn't give me food for 24 hours. I was already fasting for 24 hours. I'm a faster. A lot of people hear that and they go, God, I wish I was like you. I wish I can do that. It's hell. It's hell for people that eat meat. Now, I could tell you the story here. I'll tell it really quick. I had to quit eating meat about 9 years ago because God told me to do it. He said, well, I'll make you sick if you don't. And I said, oh, yeah, go ahead. I love cooking up the pork and the fucking steaks. And I was eating it like, 2 times a day. And I got shingles from fucking across the board. And he said, now I'm going to show you the cure. The cure for shingles is a handful, 4 times a day, 1 handful of chopped up fine garlic raw. Make sure it's non-GMO. And then 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of orange juice, and 1 small teaspoon of salt. Fast. Do that 4 times a day, and you'll get rid of every herpes simplex and bacteria that is. You're just like a vat of shit carrying that if you do eat meat. Take it down to bones and start over again. Otherwise, you're just going to remain wretched, cruel, hatred people. Don't know what to tell you. Have a good day.